back in 2020.
Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the San Francisco 49ers
and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway here in Las Vegas. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, this defense for the Raiders, and they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards for number 11.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Here we go, set.
First down, here's Mitchell. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Lance. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
From midfield, here's Lance. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start to, and right away, he lost the football. And so, there he goes, left side. The 40. Past the 20.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Here's White. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Zamir White with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are on the board for first here this afternoon. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
At the 26-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Lance. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his one-on-two matchup.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line.
38. Ready?
Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Lance now to throw. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
2nd down and 4. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with a lucky lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the 49ers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Gold with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Darius Phillips on the return. The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On play action, it's Carr. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1.
With the score tied 7-7.
Following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now Carr. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Try the right side with Mitchell. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Lance to throw it. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
On the draw, here's Mitchell. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. To throw, it's Lance. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. On second down, they'll run with White. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
The Raiders at 7 and 8 now on the year. They've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2.
Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop. Take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Phillips now from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
The Carr's throw complete there to Johnson.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in by Adams. Down the right sideline. Touchdown! Devontae Adams, 58 yards. And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because Lance throws the interception, his third. Picked off by Denzel Berryman. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Here's Jacobs. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard that time. Second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Nick Bosa in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
So Carr exits on fourth down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 33. Carlson able to put this one through, and they take a 17-14 lead. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lance taking a shot for Samuel. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Lance looking to throw it. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready up.
On 1st down, Lance. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And the Raiders are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry. Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Carr going to throw. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Phillips now from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Carr completes it. And some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
First down, here's White. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Carr to throw on second down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it. Yes. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the fourth down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. All things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Once again, it's Mitchell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Off of play action, here's Lance. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Running out of the gun with White. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for first.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Carr now to throw. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll go up the middle with White. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Zamir White with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Raiders use the short field to get in for 6. Carr will look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Chandler Jones buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
It's tipped, but it doesn't matter. He still catches it. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Mike McGlinchey, the Notre Dame man, guilty on that one. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Now Lance. And now here's another interception. Jonathan Abram picks it. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Javon Kinlaw, the big D tackle there to bring him down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Carr. He hits Adams complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now a give up the middle. This is White. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's a toss right side with White. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Niners are right back in this football game.
What a stand there defensively. They force the 3rd and goal, force them into what they think will be a passing situation, and then they make sure to lock up all the receivers and come away with the interception. Sounds simple, but that was really well done.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. On 2nd down and 4, Lance. That's Samuel, caught left side. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Lance on target to Samuel for a Niner first.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10, Lance. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
Azeez Al-Shaair in to make the stop. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Opting to run again here with White. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They run straight ahead here with White. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Zamir White taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Raiders have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Now a give to White. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle. Brings up 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. 2nd and 16. They stay on the ground with White. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Las Vegas, the victory gets them back to 500, 8-8 on the year.